You know, there's a new space race heating up, and it's not the one you might be thinking of. Right now, India is making an absolutely massive leap into the next generation of space defense. So today, we're going to break down the incredible technology and the big picture strategy behind India's new eyes in the sky.
But to really get what's going on here, let me ask you a question. When you think about a 21st century conflict, what do you think is the single most important asset a military can possibly have?
The answer might actually surprise you. It's not just about having more tanks or faster jets anymore. Nope. The true backbone of any modern military operation, it's secure, real-time information. It's the ability to communicate without fail, to see the entire battlefield clearly, and to connect everyone, from a general in the command center to a soldier on the front lines.
And that idea, that communication is the central nervous system of a modern military, brings us right to our main story, a brand new piece of tech designed to be India's ultimate lifeline in the sky.
Okay, so this is an advanced, extremely high-frequency satellite, or AEHF for short. And you should think of this as the absolute gold standard for military communications. It's a network built to be tough, secure, and, this is the most important part, highly resistant to enemy jamming. It ensures the lines of communication stay open, even when everything else is going haywire.
Now, for years, this kind of technology was basically an exclusive club, with only a handful of nations having access to it. But that's changing, because India is now developing its very own AEHF satellite. And let me tell you, this is a monumental technological task, one that's designed to give its armed forces a serious, decisive edge.
And we're not just talking about a copy of existing tech here. This satellite is a huge leap forward. It's promising jam-proof signals that are almost impossible to disrupt. It's got advanced encryption that makes its communications basically uncrackable. And get this, it can handle 10 times more data than the systems they have now. That means streaming real-time video, targeting data, battlefield maps, you name it, securely to forces anywhere in the world.
So, the big question is, why this massive investment? And why right now? Well, this move isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a direct response to a global chessboard that's changing faster than ever.
And you don't have to guess the reason. India's Chief of Defense Staff, General Anil Chauhan, made the motivation crystal clear. This whole push is a direct reaction to the rapid militarization of space, and they're keeping a very close eye on China's accelerated activities up there.
But this isn't just about launching some new satellites. It represents a fundamental shift in their entire strategy. India's actually writing a dedicated military space doctrine, a whole new playbook for how it will defend its assets in space and prepare for what many now see as the next great frontier of conflict.
But here's where it gets really interesting. That AEHF satellite, as impressive as it is just one single piece of a much, much larger and incredibly ambitious master plan.
52. Just let that number sink in for a moment. That's how many new military satellites India's planning to put into orbit. This isn't just an upgrade, it's the creation of a massive, multi-layered network for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance from space.
This constellation is going to give India's military a view of the battlefield like they've never had before. We're talking about AI-driven analytics that can spot threats faster than any human. We're talking about synthetic aperture radar, which is a fancy way of saying it can see right through clouds and total darkness, and high-res sensors to watch troop movements and missile deployments in real time. It's going to make it incredibly difficult for adversaries to hide anything.
Now, this whole new network isn't being built from scratch. It's actually building on an existing foundation. India already operates the GSAT-7 series of satellites, which have these cool nicknames like Rukmini for the Navy and Angry Bird for the Air Force. This new master plan is all about dramatically expanding and integrating these capabilities across every branch of the military.
So how in the world is India pulling off a task this big? Well, the answer is in a new model that's all about self-reliance and homegrown innovation. For that super advanced AHF satellite, they're using a pretty clever model called Make-I. Here's how it works. The government basically steps in and funds 70% of the development cost. This is a huge deal because it massively reduces the financial risk for Indian companies, encouraging them to jump in and develop this kind of cutting-edge technology right at home.
And for that bigger 52 satellite network, we're seeing a real paradigm shift. The state-run space agency, ISRO, is going to build the first 21 satellites. But then, and this is a first for India's strategic space efforts, The private industry is going to take the lead, building the other 31. This public-private teamwork is all about getting this done faster and tapping into all that commercial innovation.
And this right here is the result. Incredibly complex, high-stakes technology being built through this new collaborative model, a powerful mix of public expertise and private sector speed.
But at the end of the day, all of this amazing tech orbiting our planet is designed for one single purpose: to get critical, life-saving information to the soldier on the ground, giving them the edge when it matters most.
When you step back and look at the big picture, these developments aren't just about new satellites. They're signaling a profound shift in the very nature of global security and, really, the future of warfare itself.
As defense experts are pointing out, this whole program lifts space from just a supporting role, providing GPS or communications, to what they are now calling an autonomous warfighting domain. In this new reality, space itself is a potential battlefield.
So, what's the bottom line here? What does this all mean for India? Well, it means securing a position of strength in the region. It means dramatically cutting down the sensor-to-shooter timeline. That's the time from when you spot a threat to when you can respond. It strengthens deterrence. But maybe most importantly, it's about achieving true strategic autonomy, so India doesn't have to rely on anyone else for these vital capabilities in space.
And all of this leaves us with one final and kind of provocative thought. As India, China, the US, and others continue to place more and more of these critical military assets into orbit, you have to ask yourself, is the next global conflict no longer a question of if, but a question of where? And is that place, silently, already beginning right above our heads, in space?